MMA versus traditional. You're a liar. You're lying. What you're doing is not the truth of martial arts. That's what both sides say to each other. Now, I'm going to do my best. I may be wrong, but I'm going to give what I think is behind the whole MMA versus traditional thing. Based on conversations I've had with traditional martial artists, mixed martial artists. Based on things I've read, just listening to people, because I have a gift of people tell me stuff that I don't know why they tell me, but they tell me it. And again, I shall use no names other than myself. Now, traditional martial artists, I don't think that we should forget the one benefit that mixed martial arts did bring. Whether you like it or not, they've reminded everybody that you need to learn how to fight on the ground. They reminded everybody that you need to learn how to fight in the grappling range. Even if you don't master it, it's still nice to know if you fall on the ground. So don't forget that they brought that back, even though it's been there for years. Okay, according to what I've learned in judo, Tagoro Kano merged the school of stand-up jiu-jitsu with a school of ground fighting and created judo. Brazilian jiu-jitsu comes from judo. Those techniques were borrowed from earlier things, so it's not like ground fighting is some kind of new thing. And now I've seen articles, which I had already thought about this years ago, but now people are doing it. They're trying to link mixed martial arts in with pancratia, the old Greco-Roman style of fighting that was in the first actual Olympics, thousands of years ago. So that's not really new, and that would technically make mixed martial arts and a traditional style. If you want to link it to pancratia, which there's a strong case that you can, because it's the same techniques. So what we think of as TMA today, you may hate ground fighting, that's fine. Hate. You're free to hate it. But you can't deny that they showed that you need to remember that. Now I'm going to jump on MMA people. MMA people, when traditional martial artists are telling you that some of this stuff that's going on in the cage is not real martial arts, or it's not really lethal techniques, or we can't really do our style under your rules because you take away our most lethal techniques, they're not lying to you. It's true. Because people will get killed. You can't strike, you're not supposed to strike to the back or the spine or anything like that, or the top of the head. People do it. You're not supposed to do it. I saw a dude punch in the back. I'm like, you're not supposed to do that. And somebody else screamed out, you're not supposed to do that at the bench. You're not supposed to do that. A lot of times, that's one of the most unskilled ways to stop somebody from doing a takedown in their style, is to go after some type of vital organ, hit them up here in the spine or the back of the head or something like that. You can't, you kill the person. Until they're not lying. It is true, whether you want to believe it or not, that some of the most lethal techniques are not allowed. So therefore, everybody cannot express their style in that format. Just because everybody cannot express their style in that format, it doesn't mean that their style is worthless. Because the sport that you love of mixed martial arts comes from all these other different styles. So you shouldn't hate on the styles that gave you what you like. It's like hating where you come from. It's like hating your ancestors. Because all these other arts that you think of as traditional arts are the ancestors of the sport that you love so much. I'm going to let that sink in. So neither side should be really hating on the other side. Now, if you want to say that you don't like mixed martial arts because you don't agree with the ground and pound, now we can talk. If you don't like the ground and pound because you feel like it's a technique that's too serious for something that's not an actual fight for survival, then I think we can debate that. That's something that can be discussed. Because here again, like I said in another video, nobody puts a gun to people's heads and make them get in a cage. So they're doing it of their own free will. Nobody lets minors fight in a cage either. So that is what it is, etc. Now where was I? Where was I? Traditional people. Mixed martial artists. And probably more so fans than really the actual fighters. I don't hear this attitude from fighters that much. But let's say people on the MMA side, they feel like what you're doing is a lie. Have you seen on YouTube the Ki Master versus MMA guy? Where the guy's throwing chi, the old guy's throwing chi, and he gets in there with the buff MMA guy, just fat knocks him out. Some people really think that traditional martial arts are so far gone that we are, all of us who do traditional arts, we're like Ki guy. That's what they think we are. And they don't think that out of arrogance. They think that out of an actual concern. They are down on traditional arts, some more than others, because they feel like what those arts are teaching people does not work. And you want to know whose fault that is? That's our fault. You want to know why some of that's our fault? Because we have some people, and I've heard people do this in different styles, not just one. They got a yellow belt or a green belt, or even just a first degree black belt. They're not really that good. They feel insecure. So they go out and they're sensitive and they get in a fight with somebody who's good at fighting. And they lose. Rather than blaming themselves for being an idiot, they blame the art. Because it's easier to put the blame on this abstract thing than put the blame on yourself. And or you have people who have been trained by fraudulent instructors. People didn't really know what they're doing, and they promised these people something that they can't deliver. They promised them they would be invincible, and they're not. And I'm going to tell you, I can understand now that I'm teaching, I can understand why somebody would promise somebody that they'll be invincible. They would promise them that because some people, you can't retain them as a student if you're not convincing them that they're becoming invincible. Let me tell anybody who studies under me, I will not promise you that you will be invincible. I can't promise that. That's impossible. I remember myself when I was younger. I used to hate when one of the karate teachers I had in high school, the first formal teacher I had, used to tell me there's always somebody better, man. It's always somebody better. I didn't want to hear that. How good is my karate, man? How good am I, Hawk? How good am I? How good am I? You're getting better, but man, look, there's always somebody better. You got to remember that. You got to remember that. But it's the truth. You're not the only person in the world studying. You're not the only person in the world training. I'm going to have to do a part two. Part two coming up.